You ever wonder if YouTube's ever gonna work for you? Because I do pretty much every single day. Feeling defeated is super normal, especially when you're starting, especially when you're still a small channel like me. As of right now, at the time of recording this, I have a little under 2,000 subscribers. I think I have 1.67K subscribers to be exact. I've been doing YouTube for a couple years, and yeah, I think right now, the point I'm at in my journey, I'm realizing that feeling defeated is like a super normal feeling, something that kind of creeps up like at least once a day. Okay, what are some things I do when I feel defeated? Let's talk about it. Well, first of all, did you know that out of the hundreds of thousands of YouTube channels that there are, that only like the top 8.8% of channels ever make it to past 1,000 subscribers? So that's pretty crazy. So knowing that is something that helps me stay motivated. So like just finding statistics like that. I just heard Sean Cannell on Think Media say this. The average video on YouTube gets 35 views. I was like, wow. It's like, if your video gets over 35 views, you're actually performing above average. Like right now, after doing YouTube for 2 years, the highest amount of views that any one of my videos has gotten is like 11,000. I have another video that has like 10,000, and then after that I have a handful of videos like in the 1,000 to 2,000 views range. But like in the past handful of months, the views on my videos have been like 100, 200, 500, you know, so that can feel really, really defeating, especially when I don't know about you, but it's like, for me, it's like, okay, well, I've already had a couple videos hit over 10,000 views. So anything less than 10,000 or even anything less than 1,000 feels like a flop or like a failure. It doesn't mean the video is necessarily a failure. It could just be that it hasn't found its audience yet. Or maybe it was a total flop. I don't know. But like either way, my point is, I'm just trying to share something that helps me like when I feel super defeated. Knowing that the average amount of views that a YouTube video gets is 35, that helps just put it in perspective that like, oh, I actually don't suck so much, you know? The most defeating thing is when you compare yourself, especially comparing yourself to people who are way further ahead in the game than you. They've just been doing it longer. They've put in more reps than you know, like don't compare yourself to those people. And I'm reminding myself this too, okay? Something I learned from the book, The Gap and the Gain, is to always measure your progress backwards. So like, it can feel really defeating when you compare yourself to like, let's say you're like me, you have 1.67 thousand subscribers, and then you're comparing yourself to somebody who has like 100,000. That's comparing yourself against an ideal. Whereas if you compare yourself, if you measure your progress backwards, okay, and think, well, I started at 0, and then I got my first subscriber, and then I got my first 10, then I got my first 100, then I got my first 1,000, now I'm at almost 2,000. So if you measure your progress backwards, that actually helps you stack your wins and feel a lot more proud of yourself versus feeling completely defeated. Celebrate the win right now that I just kept talking on camera even though there's people walking by. So yeah, just that concept of measuring your progress backwards versus against an ideal has been such a game changer. And the more you celebrate your success, you're actually like rewiring your brain, like a positive feedback loop. My business partner is a neuroencoding specialist, so he would know the correct terminology for this, but basically it's like, it's actually science that the more you acknowledge and celebrate your wins and actually celebrate by like patting yourself on the back or like cheering or high-fiving yourself in the mirror or celebrating with another person or people, the more that you do that, that actually like rewires your brain and you actually start to stack more wins. Highly recommend it. So like today, for example, today is a Monday. I did a live stream this morning and afterwards, I was like, yes, I did my Monday live stream, because that's a promise I made to myself. I have a goal to live stream every Monday for I don't know, I guess I didn't really set a goal for that, at least through the end of 2025. Like, I don't know, I just want to get in the habit of weekly live streams. So it's like, hey, you know what? I set a goal for myself. I did it. And looking for the wins, like, so let's take this live stream that I did this morning, for example. I think it's like the 9th time that I've done a live stream on YouTube. And live streams are unpredictable. You never know what's going to happen. Like, if people are going to even be there, what kind of questions and comments are going to come up, how that's going to shape the conversation and stuff like that. Like, it's live, you know, like there's no editing. It just is what it is. And this morning, it took about 10 minutes for like an audience to build up. And there were 2 people there at the very beginning, which I'm very grateful for. You know who you are. Thank you for being there. And I will also say, like, I set it up as a live Q&A, and until more people showed up, there wasn't, like, questions weren't rolling in. I had some slides prepared, and I went through my slides and stuff, but then there weren't questions right away. And so I had to, like, kind of just be okay with the awkward silence. And I was like, well, all right, if there's no questions right now, then I guess I'll just take a couple sips of water. You know, there's 2 ways that I could look at that situation. One, I could beat myself up and be like, oh my God, that really sucked. I looked like an idiot, and I was just sipping water. I probably looked really stupid. Like, instead of having all of those self-defeating thoughts, instead, what I chose to do, it's like, yeah, I felt awkward for a little bit, but then, you know, before I knew it, there was like 17 people there live, and then the comments started flooding in, comments, questions, and I got like re-energized and started feeling like better about how my live stream was going. And so afterwards, I was like, you know what? I'm going to celebrate the win. Woohoo! I did it. And not only that, I'm really proud of myself that I didn't give up, like in the first 5 minutes when there wasn't a lot of people there and there weren't questions coming in. I was tempted for a second to be like, okay, well, I guess if nobody has questions, I may as well like just end it. I already did my slides. Maybe this is just going to be a 5-minute live stream. It doesn't have to be an hour, you know? But I didn't. I'm celebrating the win that I allowed myself to feel awkward, not judge myself about it, and that I just kept going. And I ended up live streaming for an hour. I loved the conversation. I loved the questions coming in. I loved engaging with my audience. So there's so many wins there. And I just proved to myself that it's okay. I can do a live stream where I feel awkward for a few minutes. There's going to be times where there's maybe not a lot of people there, or maybe, you know, if I set it up as a Q&A, maybe people don't have questions right away. That's fine. Like, and now I had a little conversation with ChatGPT about what I can do differently next time to like fill that space, so that in case that happens again, that I'm prepared with different things that I could do to keep the live stream going. Because, you know, I think that's just part of being a YouTuber and filming yourself. Like, I mean, right now I'm being brave and filming myself in public. Woohoo! Celebrate the win. The only way it won't work is if you give up on yourself. That's the bottom line. YouTube is not an overnight instant success game. There are people who do have viral videos and their success does seem to happen overnight, but for most people, YouTube is a slow growth process, and that's been my experience, and I'm actually grateful for it. Okay, so another tip to think about, like when you feel defeated, this is what works for me. I always go back to my why. It's like, okay, what's my goal? What am I doing here? What's my big picture vision? Okay, so for me, like when I started doing YouTube 2 years ago, I set a goal for myself that I wanted to post a video a week for a minimum of 10 years. Okay, so when I have moments where I feel really defeated or like it's not working for me, usually it's because I'm measuring by the wrong thing. But I always take a step back and remind myself, like, I'm in this for the long haul. In 10 years from now, if I keep showing up, it will have worked, you know? Like, it working or being successful is inevitable if you just stay in the game. Like it's as simple as that, because you can only get better. You can't really get worse, you know? Knowing your why. Why are you doing it in the first place? What does success look like to you? This has been really helpful for me. Anytime I feel defeated, I always remind myself of what my internal goals are and what my definition of success looks like. I actually recently watched a video I made like a year ago, the one that's called like How YouTube Changed My Life, less than 500 subscribers, because at the time of recording that video, I had 147 subscribers, and I think I've watched that video like 3 times in the past month to inspire myself, to learn from the past version of myself. Because at that point, the things I was saying, it's like, oh, I was such a beginner, I was such a newbie. It was actually a lot easier back then. There would probably be a whole separate video. Anyways, I'm kind of going on a tangent now, but the things I said in that video, the reasons why I'm doing YouTube, I'm doing it because I love making videos. I love watching YouTube, and I love creating on YouTube. I love sharing something that I think can be valuable for somebody else. I also love sharing moments or ideas that will make somebody like smile or laugh or feel inspired or just feel like they're not alone in the world. Like sometimes it's just nice just to know it's not just you, you know? And then what does success look like? Making something I'm proud of, not being afraid to post it. That video was a year ago, but as I'm going now, I'm really measuring success by the comments it receives. You know, when people say like, wow, this was exactly what I needed to hear today, or this really inspired me, or I learned something, when those kind of comments come in, that is success. Other things I measure are like, did I learn something new? Like today I'm filming at the beach and I'm using my new DJI microphone that I just got, and there's a little bit of a learning curve with it. So I'm proud of myself that I'm out here. I'm trying a lot of new things right now that I will feel successful about when I'm done with this video. Putting myself in a different environment. This is a success because I took myself to the beach today and went for a really nice walk even before I turned the camera on. I got to walk on the beach today. How awesome is that? Instead of like staying cooped up in my home office, that's a win. So yeah, YouTube is working for me right now. Check. I'm learning my new equipment. So my new microphone, okay? I know the waves are really loud. So when I get home and check out this footage, you know, I'm probably gonna have a new editing skill to learn too, of like how to turn down the wave noise so that it's not distracting. So comment below, how did I do? Please be nice. This is my first time doing this. Oh, filming in public, if I didn't say that already. So different environment, filming in public, trying out new equipment, trying a new format, new editing skill, new thumbnail sort of look. Those are all wins. So this is just an example about this specific video that I'm making right now, but the whole point was I was talking about like your own definition of success. So like, how do you define success? And that can be on a big picture, like how I'm talking about, I zoom out and I look at the entire decade and like, I want to be on YouTube for a minimum of 10 years. That's the goal I set for myself. So that's a measurement of success. Am I consistently showing up? Like, I'm like, wow, I already did 2 years of my 10 years. That's amazing. I've already kept my commitment to myself of posting at least 1 video a week. I've done that on average. So like, stack the win. I was just saying, you can measure it on a bigger time horizon sort of thing like that, or you can measure or set your definition of success per video. It could be like, you know what, in this video, I'm gonna try going live. Or in this video, I'm gonna see if I can do something different with editing. Maybe you've never added background music before. Maybe you could play around with that. So you pick one thing as a way that you're gonna measure success. And then when you complete it, because that's within your control, like nobody can take away from me that I'm filming with this microphone right now. That's my win. Nobody can take it away from me that I'm filming myself in public and proud of myself because I'm getting over the awkward feeling, or I'm handling it. I don't know if it ever goes away, but like I'm handling it. Stack the win. Nobody can take that away from me. There's no amount of views that define if that's successful or not. I'm already being successful because I'm literally doing it, you know? So make your own definition of success and then measure your success that way against your own standards and your own goals and your own reasons why you're doing this in the first place. Something else I do, another little trick up my sleeve, as a way of coping with feeling defeated sometimes, especially when I find myself like in that comparison trap where I'm feeling defeated because I see, you know, Ali Abdaal posts a video and within 5 minutes it has 700,000 views, and I'm just like, oh my God, like I'm never gonna reach these numbers. I have that negative self-talk and I'm like, Brooke, knock it off. Okay, one thing I like to do is I go to really successful YouTuber channels, okay, like Ali Abdaal, for example, and then I'll filter it, like I go to his videos and then look at oldest. And you look at like the first handful of videos that that creator made. And I've done that for a bunch of channels. I've gone back and looked at their first handful of videos, even their videos like 2 years into it, like where I'm at right now. Like Ali Abdaal's videos, his first 2 years in, are not as good as the videos when he, you know, was 8 years into his journey. And so like, it's refreshing and really helpful, at least for me, to see like, you know, somebody like him. It's like he didn't start off being this like world famous productivity guy with a published book, a New York Times bestseller, and like a multi-million-dollar business and all this stuff. Like he started just like I started, with his first video, and then his second video, and then his 10th video. Have you done this before? Have you ever gone back and looked at like really successful YouTubers' first videos? Tell me in the comments below if you've done that, and if you haven't, I challenge you to do that. And if you accept the challenge, write that down below. I accept the challenge. Go back, look at least one of your favorite YouTubers who's like super successful that you admire. Go back and look at their oldest videos and tell me if that doesn't help you feel like inspired and like you don't suck so much, okay? I know that really works for me, so I hope that works for you too. It all comes down to this, like, to stay motivated, to keep going, even when you feel super defeated. It's about staying in your own lane, setting your own goals, setting your own why are you doing this, setting your own definition of success, celebrating your wins, being proud of yourself when you celebrate the things that you set out to do, and measuring your progress backwards. Like only comparing yourself to yourself. That's like, I feel like in order to stay in this game, that's a non-negotiable skill that you have to develop, and it's a practice. It's not just like you get it once and then it's like you're good. It's like, at least for me anyways, it's like it's a daily practice to remind myself to stay in my own lane. Yeah, and I mean like finding the things that work for you. Like having some tricks up your sleeve, like the things that I'm sharing. It's like when I feel defeated, I have some go-to tools in my toolbox that I use to pull myself out of that defeated feeling so that I can keep going. And so that's what it really is. It's like, it's self-management. It's managing your own emotions, knowing that feeling defeated is inevitable. It's like part of the journey. I think developing like a game plan for how you can really show up for yourself and still be your biggest cheerleader, even when you don't get those external results, because they don't come fast. They don't. And for the YouTubers that results have come fast for, I've heard the majority of them say that they wish they didn't have a video go viral, especially when they were starting. And that could be a whole different topic, but yeah, because then all of a sudden you have like an audience that expects a certain thing from you. I think slow and steady wins the race, right? Whatever. I'm good with slow growth. Maybe it's just as simple as that. Be okay with growing slow on YouTube. Just be okay with it. All right, I gotta start walking back. It's really hot and I gotta go pick my daughter up from school.